welcome back to Music for Busy People. I have no idea what we're doing today, and that is normally the case.
It's normally the case that I know what we're doing.
Yeah.
That would be bad if neither one of us knew what we were doing. The agenda for today is Achilles Last Stand. We're starting Led Zeppelin Presence album. Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, we could really use it. What are you waiting for? Do us a favor and subscribe. It would really help the channel out a lot.
Little buttons.
If you want to leave us a tip or a donation, here's some information to do that.
And it's much appreciated every single time.
Anything $5 or more we'll recognize in our next video. And we love your comments, and we love your likes. So continue to do that, and sharing the video, that all helps. And last but not least, thank you, patrons.
Thanks, guys.
We need you. We can't really monetize these videos, so we really appreciate your support. And here's the link to our Patreon if you'd like to check it out. We have extra videos there and other things, so see you there. I like this album a lot. I don't think it's high on most people's lists. I'm going to call this more stripped down. There's no keyboards. There's very little acoustic. This is just a hard-rocking guitar album. Part of why this album turned out the way it did is because they didn't have a lot of time to do it. They did it in like 2 or 3 weeks because they were going to be touring and they had to cancel their tour because Robert Plant had a bad car accident.
Oops.
And so instead they're like, let's write some songs. So they wrote some songs and then they went into the studio. Robert Plant was like in a wheelchair, I think.
Oh my heavens.
And they booked a studio in Munich, I think. But the Rolling Stones had it booked for like 3 weeks later. And I think most of the songs were written by Page and Plant because they had them all written before they even got together in the studio. Again, This was trying to be very efficient. The rest of the band wasn't involved in the songwriting.
That's a good friend, man. You get in a bad car accident, your friend shows up and says, like, we're going to work. You have all this emotion, might as well put it to use.
There were some all-nighters.
I bet.
Page and the engineers or whatever worked tirelessly for a couple of days at the end just to get it all wrapped up. Before we listen to the first song, let's look at the album art.
Yay! Are they at a yacht club?
And the thing they're staring at is just called The Object.
It's like a trophy. They won something. Best family.
This album was designed by the same person that did Dark Side of the Moon and Houses of the Holy. The same firm, the same design studio. I think the object is supposed to represent their presence. That's the back cover. So it's just another random scene with the object.
Look at the way she's touching the object and the boy.
Right, they're like making a circuit or something. This is very reminiscent of Stanley Kubrick's 2001. There's a monolith. There's this weird monolith. It's way bigger than that. And it's mysterious and nobody knows why it's there. And like there's a scene in the beginning of the movie where the apes are just looking at it and like, what's going on? So anyway, that's what it makes you think of. That's what it makes me think of.
They're all smiling. Oh wow! Oh wow! Everybody's smiling. Everybody's fondling the staff.
They're not all fondling it, but it's there.
What's
it's
it called?
Present.
The object. The object. It doesn't even look like it has dimension. It's like they've cut it out from the center of every picture.
So Achilles Last Stand. I think this is their last one. This is one of their long epic songs. I love long epic songs when it's by a good band, of course.
They're good.
Yeah. I think Jimmy Page has mentioned that this is his favorite Led Zeppelin song. It's very unique. It doesn't really have a normal structure of a song. It's got a lot of guitar parts. There's like 6 or 7 guitar parts on some parts of it.
Cool.
It kind of has, when you listen to it, see if you agree, like it kind of has like a galloping rhythm, sort of reminiscent of Immigrant Song. Of course, it's very different than Immigrant Song in the fact that Immigrant Song is one of their shortest songs, and this is one of their longer songs. One thing I do remember, though, it is unyielding. It just has like a driving rhythm that just never stops for 10 minutes.
I'm in the mood for one of those.
Yeah. I'm always in the mood for this song. I never am not in the mood for this song.
That's nice. I
don't know why I don't listen to it more, so I'm glad. I'm going to start listening to it more. But I've been saving it, and I'm very happy now. Robert Plant has a podcast where he gets interviewed about...
Really?
Yeah, it's basically him getting interviewed about songs he's done. There was an episode about Achilles Last Stand.
Yeah.
So I thought, let's just listen to a couple minutes of it.
Yes.
I mean, we're not going to listen to the whole thing.
Yes.
But
Speak my language.
Just to get us in the mood.
Yes. Well, I love it when he's doing his live stuff and talking about, he's talking to the audience, just talking in general. It's fascinating.
So the Robert Plant podcast is called, I forgot what it's called, but you'll see the name of it. It's something about deep diving.
If you think about Led Zeppelin as being a trio, really, with a kind of wedding singer stuck up the front, in truth, those guys were amazing. And I think Achilles Last Stand was one of those. It was an uncomfortable time recording the album from which it arrived, which was Presence. I was in a wheelchair for 7 months or whatever it was at that time. But the music was continuing to be developed. And even though Presence is not always the most comfortable listen, in terms of, I think I'll just settle down with my girlfriend with a glass of wine and listen to Presence. You might have to go and, go and stand in the corner for a bit. But the interplay and the melding of the musicality of those three guys on that track is insane. Yeah, absolutely insane. It's magnificent. And so magnificent. I had a lady friend who I was playing, it came on in the house loud, and she said, I don't want to be left in a room with this on my own.
Ooh, interesting.
Because it's so intense. I started writing about freedom and escape. And the whole thing, the preparation throughout the song is to be gone to a place which is a reward, aesthetically, in beauty and space and air and stuff. And it was basically about the Atlas Mountains, about going back to Morocco. I was so desperate to get away from that, being trapped in that environment, to hop off the bed into the wheelchair and have somebody push me around. And I was saying, let's get out of here. I'd rather be on the side of the mountains in Oregon or Asni in Morocco. It's about lyrically, I suppose, about the dynamic of the life that I lead, what we all put ourselves through as entertainers and musicians and writers, and the panacea, the cure, the fix, which is what Achilles Last Stand is all about, really. It's about heading towards the fix. My wife and I, we had 2 kids. I suppose it was the most ridiculous thing to find that as a family we were completely torn asunder for a period of months, It was a very difficult thing to get it anywhere near back together again.
Yikes.
That's just an excerpt, obviously. I think the episodes are much longer than that. But
right.
Just to give us an idea of where he was when he was writing the lyrics, the reason it's called Achilles Last Stand is part of his injury. He had a bad ankle injury during that accident. His Achilles. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's why it's called that, even though Achilles isn't in the lyrics. Achilles Last Stand, song number 1, Presence. It's a very haunting arpeggio there. It's kind of a drawn-out riff. Took a while for the vocals to come in.
As I turned to you, you smiled at me. How could we say no? What a fun to have, to live the dreams we always had. Oh, the songs to sing when we at last return again.
The riff is essentially the chorus.
Swept the glance and kiss to those who claim they know.
staircase kind of theme. The drum fills are, of course, awesome.
To the sun, the south, the north, lies the birds that fall. Shackles of commitment fell, and pieces on the ground. Oh, to ride the wind, tread the air above the dim. Oh, to laugh aloud, dancing lights across the crowd, yeah.
There's another guitar layer.
Seek the man who's pointing hand, the giant step unfolds, guide us from the curving path that turns our feet to stone. If one bell should ring, celebration for a king, so fast the heart should be, as proud the head with heavy feet, yeah.
It's a very melodic solo. I feel you, Jimmy. I love the fills.
Soothes the soul, calms the pain. Oh, I'll be a remain, sleeping now to rise again.
Another layer. All the harmonies are done by guitar.
Wandering, wandering, one place to rest the surge. The mighty arms of Baptist, all the heavens above the earth.
We are surrounded by guitars.
For the mighty arms of Baptist, all the heavens above the earth, above the
This kind of makes you uncomfortable. But it's an appropriate close because it ties right back into the beginning. What can you say?
How long was it?
Like 10 minutes.
That was like a really, really jam-packed. I went to so many different places.
It is jam-packed and intense, like Robert was saying.
I saw him like at home, like having a normal life, and then all of a sudden you don't have a normal life. Jeez. What
I think is masterful about it, though, is that it's 10 minutes of getting more and more intense, more layers. Then he starts with the stuff, which I was thinking maybe that was kind of Moroccan influence.
They definitely use their voice as an instrument.
Right. Yeah. But the fact that it just keeps building in a gradual fashion, like he does little licks and little riffs and little things. There's a funky part, stuff that could be used in other songs.
All sorts.
But it all melded together beautifully. And it could have been saved for another song, but no. I like this little thing. I'm just going to use it in there. And then you never hear it again. But yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So as much as I like Jimmy Page's stuff, to me, that totally was the best of Bonham. Like, I love everybody else in the group, but some of their songs are just distinctive in their own way, and that was a drumming song.
This is one of my favorite drumming songs. I would say this and In My Time of Dying are my two favorite drumming songs. And this one has amazing fills. And it's interesting that you say that because it's not only just the fills. They are synced in with the riff and with the structure of the song.
I mean, he's setting the pace. He's totally setting the pace, and everybody's just kind of.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to play you something and see if you agree with me. I have the isolated drum track. I just want to listen to parts of it. You can just tell by the drums where they are in the song. And this is a complicated song.
Interesting. Okay.
Just see,
maybe
that's
you
my theory.
Can. I'm not sure.
Well, that's my theory. Can you tell what part of the song it is?
It's like a pop quiz, man. Think hard, Dan. Think hard. Well, yeah, this is the part of the song that he essentially owns. Every time he does this, he owns this. We can tell what you love. I'll rock out which babe.
Okay. I'm curious. Put in the comments. When you listen to the drums alone, can you tell exactly what part of the song it is? So can you believe he did all the guitar overdubs in one night for that song? That's what I read.
By now, yes. That dude's a genius. He was in the flow. It was, how some people work really well on deadlines? Obviously, that's Jimmy. Man, it's a hardcore song, but it's fun.
It's making me sweat. I don't usually sweat when we do these, but I'm sweating. I found this interesting cover song. I think it's interesting because it's actually a medley of 3 Led Zeppelin songs, but it's mostly Achilles Last Stand. It's by a band called Dream Theater. I don't know who they are.
Slice and Dice.
This is actually it's a live performance.
Okay.
But we're not going to listen to the whole thing, but we're going to listen to the beginning and the end. It starts out as The Rover, and then it goes into Achilles Last Stand, and then it goes into The Song Remains the Same at the end. So it's an interesting 3 songs to put together. Dream Theater from 1995. So this is The Rover.
You need the object in this. Like,
you recognize the song?
And the hills behind him.
bass player. Quite a fast tempo. Now let's just listen to the end because I want to hear how it transitions into the song remains the same. Here it is.
Don't hate it. Felt very natural.
This is interesting. I was just curious. I thought that was an interesting transition into Song Remains the Same.
Sure.
I thought that worked well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, their playing is commendable.
Good.
It's nothing like Zeppelin. I'm pumped, and we're going to listen to a live version now, but not in this video. This video is long enough.
Cool.
So we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
I poked him too hard.